But then apparently she doesn't flush her. She doesn't flush because she feels like it needs to stay around for a while, like she's proud of it. Man, that sucks. I concluded the episode with the touching scene and did not get into it, so everybody's gonna have to wait until next episode for that whole bit. I already read it in the manga and I thought it was really great, but unfortunately, I actually thought it wasn't gonna happen. I honestly, when we got into the whole at home stuff, I'm like, I wonder if they're not even gonna do it. Like, are they gonna completely avoid that scene? But no, this is anime. We're gonna do it, and it's Chainsaw Man, so it's allowed. Any other show, it's not allowed, but Chainsaw Man, they'll definitely allow it because it's money. It's money. No, crazy episode though. Fantastic animation, crazy action. I just absolutely loved it. There was like one scene where it looked like it showed dingy and it was very framey, but other than that, we're really excellent. Honestly, they had like much more extended fight scene here, and additionally we got another scene with Makima that I didn't see in the manga between these two sections. Maybe it's later, but it was cool to see that they're technically adding stuff rather than removing stuff. Technically the fight with the Bat Devil, they pretty much add a whole bunch there as well, but you got the same gist of it for sure in the manga. But no, I think there's quite a bit of growth in this episode between all three characters really. Denji, Power, and Hayakawa. From Power's perspective, really kind of realizing that what she would desired so much was this cat was something that, yes, before she thought was kind of dumb. Like, there was no reason why I should be taking care of this cat. There's no reason why I should be fighting to save this cat. She couldn't understand herself. Why would she care for the life of another? It was all blood to her. So why this cat? It's like the warmth of it was different than anything else. Additionally, on Denji's side, him just getting absolutely frustrated and super mad about how simple-minded he is. Very simple-minded he is. We had quite a bit of a comment section last episode for me, pretty much getting frustrated with Denji. Like, I'm getting sick of his whole, all I care about is just touching this one thing. And everybody kind of pointing out the fact that, yes, he kind of starts out this way, but over time he grows. Which I kind of assumed. I would hope that he wouldn't just stay this way unless the writer has some... I know sometimes writers have like a fascination with one thing and so they make their character like all that. But I think for these days, a lot of writers know that something that doesn't have enough legs. Like, they need to have something more in there, and usually it's character growth. And so I do expect eventually Denji's going to get realization of things that he wants besides just touching stuff. But it's still kind of funny seeing him completely go to the point where, why is everybody looking down at me? Y'all think you have your grand ideas of what's so great to have a driving force, and I have this one thing. What's so wrong about me having this one thing? And just going absolutely crazy with it. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. At some point, Power herself calls Denji a demon. I think she calls it something like demonic or something like that in the anime. In the manga, she says he's a demon. So I'll be curious if that's something that's going to go forward, or if it's just kind of realizing that his state, that current moment, was just absolute berserk, because he's literally lost it. Like, from the perspective of the anime where one eye is getting a little bit larger, I just assumed that he got hit on the side of the head too many times and just kind of lost his mind. But it seems to be indicating there's some sort of driving force there, that he's losing himself. Like, the demon inside is becoming too much of his human side. But yeah, obviously the bigger character developments in this episode is definitely Hayakawa. From Hayakawa's perspective, he comes in, saves Denji, which was really cool. I was waiting for this moment. I seen it in the trailer and I really liked it. This whole thing where he kind of puts his hand up and wherever his outline of his hand is, and he calls Khan, and this big, huge Khan just like jumps out of nowhere and eats it. I was really looking forward to that whole scene. I think there's another scene where it like busts through a wall or something like that, but that was kind of one of the things I was looking forward to. So I knew that he had some sort of tie-in with this being. I just wasn't sure exactly how it played out. And as we see from the following scene with him and Denji, he points out, no, devils are bad. I'm just using this one. I have to sacrifice something to it, and it does what I want. He even says it. Like, when the thing chomps down, it says, oh, it's a leech devil. Can I consume it? And he says yes. Like, he has to give orders. Like, this thing has to accept his orders. But additionally, in the following scene, yes, kind of pointing out the idea that, no, devils aren't good. We just use devils to kill devils, and this thing requires something from me, and I gave it some of my skin. Like, this isn't the same thing. Denji's trying to catch him in some sort of hypocrisy here, but he's not following it. Like, him making friends with Power, making friends with all these devils, and him going, no, look, this isn't the same. I'm not friends with this thing. Now, we might find out later on that he's just being tsundere and he actually really does care for this thing, but for now, he's just acting as if this is something that he controls. But now, the extra scene, again, this could be something that's later on in the manga. I'm only reading up to the points that we're actually in the show, but no, it might come up later up in the manga, but no, we actually had an extra scene in the anime where Hayakawa goes to meet Makima, gives her a report of what all happened. Yes, Power and Denji were reported going out to this building. They found a bunch of stuff there, blood and stuff like that. They eventually found out that Denji and Power were engaging with this Bat Devil. They took out the Bat Devil. Then we showed up and we took out the Leech Devil. And then Makima goes to question, well, then how'd they get out there? They were far beyond the Forbidden Zone. Like, there is a zone in which they can be at, and they went beyond that. They went outside the skirts of this zone that this particular team's allowed to be in. And Hayakawa defends him, says, well, we took out 2 devils, and there was no fatality, so it was actually a win for us. So he's putting himself on the line here to defend Denji and Power. He didn't have to. Like, if you asked episode 1 Hayakawa this, he'd probably say hell no. But he's defending them now. And it seems to be based on that agreement that he had with Denji in the hospital. If you shape up, I will overlook all this stuff. Because he went and investigated, and all these people were saying, we thank Denji, he saved us, I would love to thank him. But there was some of them, like the guy in the car, who was like, no, this dude tried to kill me. I don't like him. And he said, basically, if you and Power stay in line, I will overlook that stuff. I won't report that stuff, which will probably put you in hot water. So Denji obviously not really saying, yes, sir, I'll do it. He's just kind of like, yeah, I'll shape up. Sure. All right, cool. I kind of want to keep this whole thing. So yeah, sure. I'll stick with you. Yeah. Even Hayakawa wanted him to rat out Power. And Denji's like, no, she's a good person. And Makima catch this. Like, man, you've changed. You're definitely a lot more flexible than you used to be. Specifically saying that she believes that Denji has changed Hayakawa. The other thing that was in this scene, and again, this is probably definitely something that's brought up later on because it seems like it's a little bit too obvious, and I've seen artwork of something that probably indicates this, but no, they were saying specifically that the 2 devils that were killed, inside their head, they could not find the gun flesh. So specifically, there's a devil gun maybe possibly somewhere, and it's giving up its flesh to possibly empower devils. Or what? I don't see it being a thing of, do you think that this devil gun has been consumed by one of these things, but maybe it's a thing where it's able to give up its flesh to empower things? We'll have to wait and see. No comments, please. No spoilers in the comments. I don't care. But yeah, the rest of the episode is just really back at the apartment. Denji was a lot cleaner. I noticed that. They showed Denji waking up. He's noting that Hayakawa has waken up really early. He doesn't know how the diet guy does it. But at the same time, he sits down to eat. And Denji wasn't an absolute mess. Like the before scene when we had the apartment, he just had crap everywhere. But this time he was actually very clean. So it does look like the agreement he made with Hayakawa, he's keeping some of it. And of course we have to have Power come in and she's making a total mess. So Hayakawa's not out of the woods yet. But no, Makima sends Power to stay with them, says that they can keep her on a leash. And she promised that she'd be good, even though she doesn't. These scenes, I swear. Yeah, first she chucks the vegetables out of her curry. She doesn't like vegetables. Denji was like, how dare you? These farmers work so... I can expect this from Denji. Denji knows what hard work is, so he'd be upset about carrots. But then apparently she doesn't flush her. She doesn't flush because she feels like it needs to stay around for a while, like she's proud of it. I don't know, some people might be into that stuff, but that might have killed a little bit of love for Power. But he's like, oh my god, she likes to leave stuff in the toilet. Sure. But yeah, she doesn't like to take a shower, so she stinks, which I can kind of assume that based on her previous lifestyle. But yes, this all leads up to the point where Power walks in on Denji and says, well, it's time. Did you want this? And she says you can have 3 total touches. 1 for saving Meowie, 1 for killing the bat, and then 1 for saving him from Hayakawa. Because obviously he, again, defended her, and that's why she was freed. And so yeah, we'll see. People know, the manga people know, and like I said, I briefly looked at it, so it's going to be a very interesting scene opening up the next episode. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. But no, overall, fantastic episode. A lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot of character development. There's just, it's got, everything was in this episode, and I really do like it. So definitely looking forward to the next episode, and I don't know, maybe... We'll see what all they show. But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 4 of Chainsaw Man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Does the non-flusher change your mind about Power? Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. I greatly appreciate everybody does. We also have a Discord link down there. We're currently doing our Otaku Spirit best of the year selections. We're starting off with the seasons and going into the stuff that we can kind of tackle now for the end of the year before we do our big anime awards for 2022. Hope you guys enjoy this video as always, and y'all take care.